Keep it going, everybody. Ranter, Jay, and Mappy's directly behind me, so I'm not saying hi to her.
Damn!
God, I love the music of this game. Next week, I gotta be sure to buy the OST to it. It is that good. Let's get right into it. Court is now resumed for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. Let us review the proceedings from yesterday. Thank you. Sorry to hear, Jay. I'm glad the tutor's working out for you, though. It was revealed that the trace of necromancy may not have been left by the defendant. It may have been left by a witness who used necromancy to attempt to heal the victim. Oops. I didn't even know I had a hotkey for that. However, the victim was seen with by witnesses well after the time of her death. This could only be explained by the defendant using necromancy to animate the victim's body. This leaves the question, where did the murder take place? Hey, Vanguard. Doing alright. Also, hun, try to resist screaming at the lawyers off screen. Does the prosecution have an answer for this? Based on the testimonies of several witnesses, it's likely the murder took place at the library. No, we were there! Interesting. What led you to this conclusion, Miss Steelwyn? First, I'd like to remind the court where the victim was sighted before the body was found. It began when the victim had a meeting with the headmaster next to the center of the building. Our meeting was scheduled at 12 p.m. According to my schedule for that day, our meeting lasted for an hour. This brings us to the statement of the next witness, a student of the academy. This student saw the victim walking in the hall. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Very important. I cannot be doing court proceedings without my badge. I saw her coming out of the headmaster's office. She was heading towards the library. Which means our first witness saw Bellwether leave the headmaster's office. Presumably, this would have happened after her meeting there. That would time this encounter around 1 p.m. The other event is the discovery of the body, which is when Valentina Lanus contacted security, not Lanus Ianus. I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in the classroom. Valentina used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. As we've already established, this event took place at 3:04 p.m. But the significance of this time is what happened before the body was discovered. The next witness, a member of the cleaning staff, spotted the victim in the West Wing hallway. Bellwether knocked over a vase, and there were shards of dirt everywhere. It's probably 20 or 30 minutes before the twins found the body. This means the encounter must have happened no later than 2:30 p.m. And this implies that the victim was near the library between 1 and 2:30 p.m. According to the defendant's statements, he was at the library at this time during this time period. Furthermore, the time of death was at 2:07 p.m. This means that Mr. Hughes saw the victim's animated body. No, impossible, because she spoke. I see. Your deduction certainly tracks, Miss Steelman. What do you have to say in your defense, Mr. Cuthbert? The prosecution's argument is definitely well thought out, Your Honor. However, it's entirely predicated on the testimonies of all witnesses involved. Steelman's deduction has to have a hole somewhere. And since your conversation yesterday, you've had a feeling that Miriam is hiding something. If you want to get to the truth, you'll need to drag that out of her through a cross-examination. Your Honor, to test the validity of these claims, the defense would like both of these witnesses to testify. The defense calls Miriam Frege to the stand. Yeah, I remember that feeling, Jay. Frege? At the mention of her name, the judge's face turns a bit pale. Turn that down just a hair. Feeling it would come to this. Do you have any objections, Miss Steelman? I do not, Your Honor. Very well. Bailiff, please escort Lady Frege to the stand. Oh, she looks cranky. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... You little snakes! How dare you deceive me? Oh, looks like she found out. Had the opportunity to debrief the witness beforehand. Miss McCoy, for the record, I told you to exercise discretion. I did not mean that you should impersonate a member of my family. Yeah, sorry about that. What? What's up?
Something to drink.
Okay, thank you. I gave you all of the tea that I imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. I demand that you return it to me. No, you gave them to me. They're legally mine. Women. Gay? What is that, Vanguard? Also, what is this catty mean girl shit in the middle of court? Not sure what your business with the witness is, Miss McCoy, but I'd ask you please handle your personal disputes outside of the courtroom. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, Miriam, can you please testify to the court about your encounter with the victim? Very well. Again, look at Miss Weischnee over here. I was working on a research project in my dorm room when I decided to take a break. I left my room and went on a walk. And that's when I saw Professor Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office. She was walking in my direction, so I greeted her and she responded in kind. After that, she headed to the library. Short time after that, I went back to my room and continued my work. I see. So it was only a brief encounter. However brief it was, the witness testimony verifies two things. One is that Miss Fragus saw the professor exiting the headmaster's office. The other is that she witnessed the victim head towards the library. Bareback loving. I think the joke's gone over my head, but all I'm saying, all right. I got that, Matthew. I got that. Settle down. All I'm saying is that just because I live in a mountain doesn't mean it's Brokeback, alright? This gives us a rough timeline of where the victim was before her death. It does seem consistent. Did Bellwether really enter the library that day? I feel like you would have seen her there if she did. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, so first thing we're gonna... Actually, hold on, I forgot. I actually forgot to open up my... Where are you? My soundboard. I blame Jay. Yeah, save as...
Phrasing!
There we go. Let's see. Was this research project a part of your schoolwork? It was an independent study to develop a new conjuration spell formula. The project's being sponsored by the Crown Prince himself. Y'all, what the hell is wrong with me? By the Crown Prince himself? Scared and sad. I wasn't aware that he was involved in such a study. Of course you wouldn't. You expect to know everything of his every aspect of his life, dear Arya? Oh my god, with the catty bullshit. If you don't keep an eye on him, House Freyga might just steal him back from you. As if his highness would allow himself with your rapacious family. Our banking houses form the economic infrastructure of our kingdom. But perhaps he'll come to the Steelwinds if he needs to clear a den of goblins. With all due respect, may we please focus on the matter of hand? Of course, Your Honor. Alright, you're sure you saw her exit the headmaster's office? Yes, I remember it clearly. I was surprised that she was still meeting with the headmaster at all. She must be talking about how they were plotting to replace him. Did you interact with the professor at all, Miriam? Let's see. We're just pressing everything, because I don't think I have anything right now. Good can crack, by the way. Shit, I think I was supposed to shake this. Oh well. Did anything seem off about her? No, but it was a very short encounter. It's not as if we stopped to have a conversation. You said that you greeted her and she responded. What words did she use? Why is that important? Fear. Interesting. Miss Frege, it's possible that someone used illusion magic that day. Every detail about the victim's interactions could be important. Well, I bid her good morning, and she said good morning in response. After that, she headed to the library. Did you see her enter the library? I didn't, but there's not much else in that direction. From the testimony of Jan Hughes, we know that she later came from the library. Well, you goddamn right, Ranter, there's a lot with me, and you goddamn right you're my bro. So kiss my ass, brother. Deal with it. Even if she didn't enter the library, she was still in that area for more than an hour. And then... How long did you leave your dorm room? Only for a few minutes. I try not to let my breaks go for too long. And you didn't see the professor again after your first encounter? No, did not. Her testimony seems pretty straightforward, but she could still be lying. I'm honestly not sure. We'll just have to focus on her statements about how Bellwether acted. Interesting. So, let's see. I'm not sure. Evidence in the locker, the 4 pillar families. Hey, they're there to protect us from people like Darziak. Well, okay, so she said that she went towards the library, but there's nothing else in this direction, so maybe that's what I need to pull up? I gotta admit, I don't have much here. Nope. Hey, we don't have health. Could it be that she tried to curry favor from the noble houses? Yeah, I got nothing. We pressed her on everything. Let me just look. Okay. Spell compendium. It could be. Oh. Bellwalker spent time in them. I gotta admit, I'm kind of stumped here. Take a break. Left my room, went on a walk. Saw Bellwether exiting the hall. She was walking toward me, so... This feels like what we need to say. After that, she headed to the library. It feels like it's something here.
Objection!
I am actually glad, though, that we don't have just random health, you know? Yeah. Which, I mean, does kind of make it hit a wall, but there's really no point in it. And yeah, we did talk to her about all of these. Oh, whoa, hold on, what was that? What was that? She had a thought there. Head back, head back. You're certain nothing seemed off about her? Yes, like I said, it was a short encounter. Why did she say that? So it's definitely this. Why Why did she say that? I know what it is. I got it.
Objection!
Nope.
Objection!
I'm kind of just throwing shit at the wall now, because I know that's what it is. I know... I'm having that, the Phoenix Wright feeling, where it's like, I know what needs to be said. I understand how it played out. But what I don't understand is how to get there. Inactive, bloodstain.
Objection!
Throw this at her.
Objection!
Yeah, I'm kind of hitting a wall, I gotta admit. Because I know, I can already tell. It was the headmaster that killed her. And then sent... Yeah, I get you, Jay. Alright, let's...
Objection!
What is contradictory here? Miss Frege, if I recall correctly, you have a habit of getting absorbed in your work. So much so you'll even lose track of the time of day. Yes, but what does that have to do with my testimony? Earlier in today's proceeding, the prosecutor made the following argument. Our first witness saw Bellwether leave the meeting with the Herald. I would put it around 1 p.m. Miss Frege, if you had said... Oh! That is... Okay, I don't like that. That's so nitpicky. If you had said good morning to the professor, you would have been mistaken, because that encounter could have happened during the afternoon. And your point is... I agree, Steelwind. You said it yourself, Mr. Cuthbert. The witness... But then what the witness said wasn't important here. The significance is what the professor said in response. She had just come out of a meeting that was scheduled for noon. She'd be well aware it was no longer morning. I hate this. That's such a shit point. So why would she respond with good morning? Wouldn't she have corrected the witness? Their encounter was extremely short, and the victim's mind may have been preoccupied. She could have easily responded to the witness without thinking. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of agree with her. Not hard to believe they were both confused about the time. It's definitely a stretch, but you still can't shake the feeling she's hiding something. Every time you ask her about how Bellwether acted, the eye picks something up. There has to be something there. Miss Frege, you haven't been entirely truthful in your testimony, have you? That's absurd! What reason would I have to lie? It's such a small detail. Why would he even care? Every detail about how she acted is important, Miss Frege. What aren't you telling us? Mr. Cuthbert, you have no basis to accuse the witness of perjury. Yes, you will stop this at once. Miss Frege, you were lying about how Bellwether responded to your greeting, aren't you? It doesn't make a difference. All she did was yell at me. All she did was yell? Miss Frege, is it possible that Bellwether's response was less than friendly? What do you care? What difference does it make? Why is he being so persistent? My job is to make sure that every part of your testimony is truthful. Every detail matters, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Mr. Cuthbert, you will stop this, or I will find you in contempt. The professor yelled at you, didn't she, Miss Frege? So what if she did? I'm sorry, but there's no going back on what you just said. So you do admit she yelled at you. You impertinent little... Yes, I admit it. The professor didn't greet me back that day. Oh, good morning, Professor. Be quiet. She yelled at me to be quiet. But until then, we'd always been nothing but courteous to each other. I don't know what got into her that day, but something put her in a foul mood. But that's it. Everything else I said was the truth. And believe me, right? I did see her coming out of the headmaster's office and walking out of the library. That part is true. So she wasn't lying about that. So is that all, Mr. Cuthbert? What do you mean, is that all? You badgered the witness, all so you could prove what exactly? The witness committed perjury. The witness changed a small detail of her testimony. A detail that is inconsequential to the case. It was clearly an act with no malicious intent. After seeing her thoughts, it's hard to disagree with that. You were so sure the eye would lead you somewhere. But Frege was only lying to save face. The witness saw the victim leave the headmaster's office and walk towards the library. Do you have any concrete evidence to review that, Mr. Cuthbert? No, I suppose I don't. Wait, is that really okay? At this rate, this will be the only chance you have to cross-examine her. I think she's lying in me. And I was really pushing my luck earlier. If I continue pressing her, the judge might actually charge me with contempt. But if Miriam isn't the one that's lying, then... The defense has no further questions for the witness, Miss Steelwind. The prosecutor stays silent for a while. She almost looks disappointed. Very well, Miriam. You are dismissed. Miriam still looks like she's fuming, but she leaves the room without protest. The judge breathes a sigh of relief as the young noble is escorted out of the room. Now with that out of the way, what else do you have, Mr. Cuthbert? The only way to refute the prosecutor's theory is to cast doubt on one of the witnesses. If it wasn't Miriam, then Steelwind. To test your theory, we must question every witness that saw the victim that day. So with that said, the defense would like to call Jan Hughes to the stand. I hope you understand, Mr. Cuthbert. Your entire case rests on the assumption that one of the witnesses' accounts is incorrect. If your cross-examination of Mr. Hughes leads nowhere, then I hope you're ready to concede. You don't like the sound of it, but she's right. Unless you could find something in Jan's testimony, you really won't have anything to disprove her theory. Bailiff, please bring in Mr. Hughes. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Witness, name and occupation. Right. My name's Jan Hughes. I'm on the cleaning staff of the academy. Mr. Hughes, please testify to the court about your encounter with the professor that day. Saw the professor when I was cleaning the West Wing hallways, about 20 to 30 minutes before the body was discovered. She walked by me, but she looked pretty out of it. Heard she was undead when it happened. Pretty creepy if you ask me. After that, she went into the empty classroom. Ooh, that contradicts what you said. That was straightforward. Come on, Jan, what are we supposed to do with that? I don't know. You guys are the lawyers. Just telling you what I saw. Mr. Cuthbert, you may examine your cross-examination. Examine your cross-examination. What the fuck? Okay. Undead. After that, she went to the empty. I believe you've got a few details about what the professor did. Yeah? Sorry, it's hard to remember these things sometimes. Did she say anything? Did you hear her make any sounds? Oh, yeah. After she knocked over the vase, she yelled at me to be quiet. I didn't even say anything. This detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony. Whatever you say, man. I heard she was undead. Pretty creepy because she yelled at me. Bingo! Got it. Because anime undead... cannot speak.
Objection!
Get fucked. Mr. Hughes, you said that Bellwether yelled at you? What were her exact words? I think she yelled at me to be quiet. What? I thought it was weird. I didn't even say anything. I know better than to talk back to her. That's the thing, Hughes. The prosecution's theory is such. The professor was murdered in the library and was reanimated using anime corpse. With a quick illusion spell, no one would notice that she's undead. However, if what you saw was truly the undead Bellwether, how did she speak to you? This doesn't make any sense. Mr. Hughes, undead can follow simple orders, but they don't have the intelligence to speak. Perhaps the witness was mistaken. No, I'm sure I heard her yell at me. I remember because what she said didn't make any sense. Exactly. He didn't say anything, but she still yelled at him to be quiet. Wait a minute. I'm afraid I don't understand. We've already established the victim was dead long before Mr. Hughes. But if what he saw wasn't an undead, what was it? It had to be an undead. What other explanation is there? Couldn't have been a major illusion. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to shove Jan out of the way or knock over the vase. Whatever it was probably used illusionary disguise to make it look like Bellwether. Does that mean it was a person? No, if it was a person, how did Bellwether's body end up in the lecture hall? Bellwether wouldn't have been able to turn herself invisible if she were dead. Whatever Jan saw needs to be something that could have transported Bellwether's body unseen. It would also need to have the mask and an ability to speak. What created Bellwether's voice? Or at the very least, it needs to be something that can recreate Bellwether's voice. What could have done that? Finally! That's it! You have an answer for us, Mr. Cuthbert? What did the witness actually see? Your Honor, the witness didn't actually hear the dead victim speaking. What he actually heard was her voice being recreated using magic. Are you trying to say her voice was recreated using a spell? Not a spell, Steelwind. It was artificery. And whoever the murderer is, they had the perfect piece of artificery available to them. One program with Catherine Bellwether's voice. I'm so sorry if that burp picked up. You can't possibly mean... That's right, Steelwind. What Mr. Hughes saw was an arcane construct. An construct? Think of it as a magically animated suit of armor, Your Honor. But we ruled out such a possibility, hadn't we? Construct or not, no one could disguise themselves and carry the body to the classroom. A person wouldn't have been able to do it. But the arcane constructs are a different thing entirely. Those suits of armor are extremely large, but more importantly, they're hollow. Exactly what I said from the fucking beginning. I see. It means that theoretically, someone could have placed the victim's body inside it. The arcane construct wouldn't just transport the body. With an illusionary disguise, it would also confuse and mislead anyone who saw it.
Objection!
I commend your deduction, Mr. Cuthbert. I had never considered that possibility. It's certainly plausible, but what does this prove exactly? It proves the body wasn't animated using necromancy. My client isn't the murderer. The defendant is still capable of performing all the acts that you described. His compendium contains illusionary disguise, after all. There were several students in the library that day. Any of them could have committed the murder. One might come to that conclusion if they didn't have one crucial piece of evidence. I'd like to present a new piece of evidence to the court. From under her table, you see Miss Steelwood pull out the bloody rapier. Blood! Is that... Yes, Your Honor. This is the murder weapon. She was saving that for a perfect moment, wasn't she? This rapier was reported stolen by Miriam Fraga weeks before the murder. And during the investigation, it was finally found in the defendant's locker. Wait! He was clearly trying to use one of her possessions in a paltry attempt to frame her. Why, he even stole her locker's nameplate and placed it over his. Damn it, that's not what happened. But it sounds more plausible than what really did take place. Basically back to square one, aren't we? Anyone could have told that construct to do all those things. Wait, anyone? Is that really true? There we go! The construct transported the professor's body, and someone used an illusion to make it like her. They even used a pre-recorded voice to make the illusion more convincing. Who ordered the construct to hide the body? That would have to be the headmaster. Several memories flood back to you. Mr. Hughes, you said that Bellwether yelled at you. What were her exact words? I think she yelled at me to be quiet. She yelled at me to be quiet. But until then, we'd always been nothing but courteous with each other. I don't know what got into her that day, but something put her in a foul mood. Be quiet! Sorry. Be quiet! Eris begins giggling. She seems amused by what's happening. The construct voice is just a series of pre-recorded messages. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it uses the voice of Professor Bellwether. Unfortunately, you can't make them say anything other than what's recorded. Only the headmaster can change those settings. No, it can't be him. What is it, Tyrion? Did you figure something out? I did. But is he seriously the one behind all this? Miss Steelwood, earlier you said my client could have orchestrated this entire ruse, but that's simply not true. How so? Anyone could have ordered the construct to carry the victim's body. Yes, but not everyone can change what the constructs are able to say. Only one individual has the credentials for that. Theodore Redmond, headmaster of the Imperial Academy. Wait, you're not serious, are you? You think the headmaster did all this? I don't want to believe it, but he's the only person who could have. That's completely ridiculous. Headmaster Redmond would never do something like this. Miss Steelwind, there's one common element between each of the witnesses' encounters with Bellwether. That's what Bellwether said to them. She yelled at them both to be quiet. Miriam Frege was particularly surprised. She had a good relationship with the professor. But when greeted by the professor, Bellwether just shouted at her. Almost as if the professor was responding indiscriminately. And to recall her encounter with Jan Hughes, the professor knocked over a vase and shouted at him to be quiet immediately after, even though he hadn't said anything. She was responding to the sound of the vase breaking. Now let me ask you this, Steelwind. Where did Bellwether come from before she encountered Miss Frege and Mr. Hughes? Her meeting with the headmaster. Here's the defense truly means to indict Theodore Redmond. If so, we have no choice but to take a brief recess until he can be brought here. There's no need. Fortunately for you, I am already in the gallery. The headmaster stood up from the gallery seats behind you and slowly walked onto the witness stand. Has he been here the entire time? Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Cuthbert, but do you think I am the one who committed this crime? Sorry, Redmond. No matter how much I look at it, everything found points to you. No, there's no need to apologize. In fact, I should commend you on the lengths you're going to defend dear Wallace. The court appreciates your understanding, Mr. Redmond. Anger. Now then, to clear the air, I suppose I should give my testimony on what happened that day. Hi, boy. Ares has come to beg. Come here. You just ate. Go away. That day I had scheduled a meeting with the professor at noon. Give me just a quick second here. This is me being a little paranoid, but I just want to make sure of something. Okay, sure enough. Sorry, I just had to check something. Oh, wow, no, that can't work. Oh, I mute. Go away. She showed up at the expected time, and we discussed various administrative matters. Our meeting went on for an hour, after which she left to prepare for her next class. Despite our many disagreements, we still knew how to be civil with one another. After all, I had no reason to bear a personal grudge against her. Wrong! Got him! Just can't see it. Seems like such a nice person. Is he really the person we're looking for? He has to be. No one else could have orchestrated this entire plot. We just need to find out how and why. We already have the MMO. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, shit. I know his motive. Oh, not press. Yap, 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 yap. That's not what I want. Hey, hon. Let's see. Tightly packed folder. So, well, here's what I'm actually thinking. Testimony. No. Here we are. So, what I'm actually thinking is they're going to push us through the plan, but this was the real reason.
Objection!
Redmond, do you really hold no animosity towards Professor Bellwether? Thank you, love. Of course you give me all the pepperoni. Yes. Actually, I'm a little surprised you did give me the majority of the pepperoni. I thought you'd have taken that for yourself. Giving me this.
Grabbing two.
I thought you'd have given me the ones I know. Yes, you love the pepperoni. Hey, bro, what are you doing here? I did have strong opinions about her methods of teaching, but I always remained professional. We both did. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. In fact, I think you might have a very good reason to murder the professor. Good. You should, bro. You deserve your rest, brother. Considering she was going to take away your job. Get on. You about that. I'm sorry, but I don't follow. Just how was the professor going to take the headmaster's job? According to Miriam Frege, Catherine Bellwether was currying favor with the noble families. In fact, there was a plan to oust Mr. Redmond and appoint Bellwether as the new headmaster of the academy. What? But in any case, I doubt the headmaster had any idea of this until now. I'd like to remind the court of the witness's reaction just now. He said, "So you knew about that." His reaction was one of surprise. But he wasn't surprised by this information. He was surprised I knew this information. That's... Please, dear Arya. I may be a frail old man, but I am perfectly capable of defending myself. If you have an explanation, Mr. Redmond, then by all means I'd love to hear it. Gladly. It is true that I knew about the Frege's plot beforehand, but I had only just learned about it. On the day of the murder, the professor told me about her plan. She was going to replace me as headmaster and replace the staff with her arcane constructs. Now, you might say this would have given me the perfect motive to murder the professor. However, the supposed murder weapon was stolen from Miss Frege. This happened weeks before the murder and my discovery of the professor's treachery. I had no knowledge of their plan before she told me, and therefore wouldn't have known to steal Miss Frege's weapon in an attempt to frame her. Also bullshit. Oh, shit. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Cuthbert? There's no way that the headmaster could have come up with this plan. But we have the... Let's see, we have testimony somewhere. Yeah, right here. Same exact one. This was supposed to be kept a secret, but according to Jan, Bellwether revealed this to the headmaster during the meeting a few weeks ago. Get the fuck off my witness stand. If he really did do this, that means he stole the rapier too, right? Most likely. His alibi makes sense. Couldn't have planned this whole thing unless he knew about Bellwether's plans. I mean, he knew about this weeks ago. How'd he even find out? Best way to tell a convincing lie is to leave a lot of truths and only change one detail. True. True. Let this be a bad influence lesson from Dapper. If you want to be a good liar, tell the truth. Maybe Bellwether did tell him, but she actually told him weeks ago. Question is, how do you prove that? Mr. Cuthbert? Yeah, we're not even gonna bother. Fly back to my house to get my cell phone while I was on my way to work. Yeah, I hate it when that happens, man. Hope you ain't late. Had no knowledge. Happened weeks before the murder. It'd be right here. Then it would be the same testimony right here.
Objection!
Oh my god, how does this not prove it?
Objection!
No knowledge. It was my understanding that the Freges wanted to keep this a secret until the very end. Why would Bellwether, of all people, tell you about her betrayal? I imagine she wanted to taunt me with that information. We'd long had our disagreements, and looking back, she may have resented me for that. And at that point, there wasn't anything I could do to stop her. Really? I thought you and the professor were on good terms. I thought so too. But I suppose that was all a facade. She was biding her time until she could take my position as headmaster. Right, but we know. Yes, we have the proof. Oh, fucking, I'm an idiot.
Objection!
No? But you did know. So you only just learned about it recently. Doesn't it seem a bit too convenient for you? It may appear that way, yes. But... day of the murder... okay, it'd be this one. There we go. Redmond, you keep saying you didn't know about Bellwether's plot before yesterday. You still plan on standing behind that claim? Because it's the truth. Sorry, Redmond. You should really close your doors during meetings. What? Did someone see? It's true that Bellwether revealed her plans to you during one of your meetings. In fact, Jane Hughes happened to overhear that same meeting, but he only heard the part where the staff would be replaced. That's the strangest part, Redmond. According to Mr. Hughes, this meeting occurred weeks ago. You can't accuse the headmaster of perjury based on a rumor. Everything you've just said is based on secondhand information. Mr. Hughes distinctly overheard the staff would be replaced with arcane constructs. That is too specific and too accurate to assume he misheard a different conversation. The professor probably only revealed her plan for the arcane constructs. That still doesn't prove that he knew about her treachery beforehand. Professor Bellwether had no authority over the cleaning staff's employment. It wouldn't make sense for her to just reveal her plan for the arcane constructs. That would only make sense if he knew that Bellwether would be taking his job. So tell me one thing, Redmond. Why did you find the need to lie about this? Oh, shit. Yeah, no. Yeah, I heard about that earlier, that he's doing a chill with Phil thing, and... oh, God. Yeah, is Vega covering that? I gotta check that right quick. At least the music kicks ass, so... are they still screaming? Okay, yeah, Vega's not... nobody that I know is covering it. I can't blame them. Is it because you saw a need to protect yourself from my accusations? Redmond, I asked you a question. Did you murder Catherine Bellwether? Jesus, that sprite!
Oh, shit.
What a fine mess this is. I'm not done. Not yet. Master? So you truly plan on pushing this, are you? Well, your thesis sounded promising, Mr. Cuthbert, but I believe your arguments could use a little work. Argument time! Let's go! You think I killed Catherine Bellwether? Me! I'm an elderly man in his late 80s. I was alone and had nothing to overpower Bellwether with. I could barely walk, much less wield a rapier. Let's see... Snort, they definitely will. Snort probably will too. I believe there's an arcane construct in his room, but I don't want to throw that in his face until I know for a fact. But I can't see anything else to throw at him. God, they'll listen to this. Yep, but you and Bellwether weren't the only people in that room, were you? You needed the arcane construct to carry Bellwether's body. That means the construct would have already been in your office. And with your privileges, you could have easily programmed the construct to stab Bellwether for you. So, think about what would have transpired afterwards. Recall Miss Steelwind's timeline of Bellwether's witnesses. With your theory, the construct would have spent more than an hour in the library. Having it there would have risked my so-called ruse from being discovered. Luckily, Lady Freyga can't tell night from day. I wouldn't have had the construct linger around the library. Redmond, what you're saying clearly doesn't match what you're thinking. What kind of weak assertion is that? How could you possibly know what I'm thinking? Look at these sprites, man! Oh, shit. No one else knows about the Iron Force. Okay. Timing deduced from Miss Freyga's testimony is predicated on one thing. She saw Bellwether exit your office after your meeting. However, we assume that you're lying about when this meeting ended, your entire argument falls apart. Miss Frege would have encountered Bellwether after her death at 2:01 p.m. Miss Frege wouldn't have made a mistake like that. Miss Frege thought it was morning when she saw Bellwether. She can't reliably tell the time. Ugh. And what about where the rapier was placed? If I really was the murderer, that would mean I planted the weapon in young Wallace's locker. Several of the students have lockers there that I have access to. I wouldn't have placed incriminating evidence in that locker. Wallace is one of my private students. If I had to frame anyone, he would be the last person I chose. True, but you didn't know that that keeps happening. Where is it? Where is it? You're right, Mr. Redmond. You wouldn't try and frame Wallace, but you would try and frame Miriam Frege. It wouldn't have been the perfect act of revenge. It would have been the perfect act of revenge, wouldn't it? You murder your treacherous co-worker and frame the daughter of the family that helped her. But something went wrong, didn't it, Redmond? The labels on Wallace's locker and Miriam's locker were switched. Anyone who saw that would have easily mixed them up. I am the headmaster of the Imperial Academy. I have records of all the students' lockers and where they're located. There's no reason I would make a mistake like that. If I truly planned for this, I would have known where Wallace's locker was. A simple change in labels wouldn't have led me to make a careless mistake like that. Ooh, that's actually... What's up?
Why would he go?
You're thinking it could have been the construct.
Following his orders, go to the locker of Miriam.
And there's an inactive construct in the locker room. You're right. Maps got it. No, that's not right. He would have noticed that the IDs are switched, but this is basically the assumption that he was the one that planted the rapier. I know, that's what I'm trying to say. There it is. But it wasn't you, was it? Your arcane construct was the one that planted the rapier in the locker. I bet you commanded it to place this rapier in the locker of Miriam Frege, but it saw the ID on Wallace's locker and assumed it was Miriam's. Redmond begins desperately stammering, looking for something to say. Miss Steelman, say something! What? Mr. Cuthbert, your theory may be plausible. There's no evidence to support it. That's right. You don't have any proof, do you? There's no evidence in my orders. Yes, there is, bitch!
Yeah.
Wrong. Different. Saying I could have committed the murder isn't the same as proving I did it. No, but every command it's given is stored in a log. Wait, what? Some evidence that would track the orders given to him. Your arcane construct is still in the locker room where it planted the rapier. All we have to do is take a look inside it and we'll see the blood inside. Is it so, Mr. Cuthbert? Does he still look so confident? No, Mr. Cuthbert, I already checked the inside of that construct during my investigation. Yes, see, this is what I hate about Phoenix Wright sometimes, in games like that. It's clearly such a better argument to say check the logs, but it's not what the game wants. I have to go down the trap. The interior was completely clean. What? The construct's primary function is to assist and clean, dear Tyrion. They have a function that allows them to clean themselves, inside and out. Why would you say that? Why would you ever just incriminate yourself like that? Well, we could still look at its command history, right? Think about it, Mr. Cuthbert. Do you honestly think the murderer would leave behind evidence like that? I'm sure whoever orchestrated this plot, they ordered the construct to wipe its logs when it was finished. No. That's right, Mr. Cuthbert. Your case against me is theoretical at best. But I suppose I can still give you marks for trying. Damn it! I thought of everything. Is he seriously able to get rid of all the evidence? You're running out of options, but you still have one tool left. It's unbecoming to glare like that, young Tyrion. He's doing it again. Bring yourself back to that moment with Garrett Pierce. Think about what's at stake for Wallace, just like you did with Celeste. His life and his future are in your hands.
Not can remain concealed.
The Empowered Eye. You activated the Empowered Eye again. Redmond did a good job of covering his tracks, but there has to be something he forgot to get rid of. So now I'm just projecting ideas at him. Yeah, son?
So, why not get him to think about the command logic?
Because he's already thinking about that where he could have already deleted it. But there is blood on this. Thanks, Vanguard. I actually did look into doing voice acting when I was younger, and I've done some freelance work more recently, but it's just, it's such a pain in the ass field to get into, and it's so based on connections. And when I was younger, it was a job that you had to live in the right area, and I refused to move to LA or Texas. Did everything I could to count down Frigga's brat. I can't believe Valerie placed a trance of necromancy near the body. To make matters worse, the construct placed the evidence in the wrong locker. So he did send it to plant the evidence. He must have also fabricated the documents. Ah! It's all to make her look like the murderer. This doesn't give you anything new to work with, so let's project the documents. Nope. Thankfully, this one, we have plenty of time. Let's see. I wonder, did I leave any other pieces of evidence behind? It's far too reckless. But I needed some way to keep that lecture hall empty. Right. He must have botched the alchemy experiment on purpose to keep that lecture hall clean. Honestly, though, Vanguard, the more that I got time... Once we get to the new place, once I have a lot more time opening up, I do intend to start doing some dubs on this channel. And we'll see if that bears any fruit. But that doesn't really tell you anything you can use right now. Let's see... Testimony. Not that. I know this ain't it, but the construct's orders were clear. Plant the body in Lecture Hall 2B, and then plant the evidence in Freyga's locker. It was supposed to head to the storage room afterwards. What happened? It wasn't supposed to be in the locker room. Then... Yeah, I didn't think that has anything. Really? Oh, the illusion, maybe. No? Projecting something has with the construct's actions. Let's try what you said about clearing it. Nope. Autopsy, no. Why was the construct in the locker room, though? Shouldn't have been there if it followed my orders. No matter, it wiped its logs. They have nothing on me. Could have probably done this last. Wait, he ordered the construct to go to the storage room. That's right, because now there's an order of operations. Hun, you're pulling my chair back. I don't mind it, but it squeaks like hell. And I don't want that to pick up. Hell yeah, Vanguard. So, no. Again, because we had this piece of evidence here, that it has to do tasks in the order they're given. If a construct is ordered to complete tasks A, B, and C, it will process them individually. But if task B is impossible, it won't realize this until it reaches B. When it reaches B, it will deem the entire series as impossible and stop without even attempting to do task C. So in this case, task A was to move the body. Task B was to plant the evidence. Task C was to go to the storage room. And task D was to wipe its logs. But it couldn't go to the storage room, so it aborted all the commands, including wiping its logs. Order of operations a bitch! It would have done that after it was finished planting evidence in the locker room. But we found it in the locker room. What stopped the construct from leaving the locker room? What I don't know, though, why couldn't it go to the storage room? No, that's not right.
Did school go into lockdown?
You're right. That might be it. Yep. Do you want to listen from your computer so you can actually hear the music and sound effects? I love having you here, baby, but... Well, a little bit, yeah. You understand? Hey.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a co-op stream, I tried.
Can't say tomorrow, because you don't stream tomorrow.
Correct. You can stream tomorrow.
See,
So,
you saw how Wi-Fi was.
I did. I love you. I don't mean to be a dick.
Oh, Let me
Well, get in the chat and tell him to. Get out. Right. The body was probably reported earlier than Redmond expected. This means he probably started the lockdown before the constructs finished in the locker room. There we go. How did this change anything? Bellwether's... Oh no, Redmond's series of commands was interrupted by the lockdown. Right, the series of commands would have been interrupted. Wait a minute. Constructs execute a series of commands in the order they're given. But let's say one of those tasks is impossible to complete. When the construct gets to that task, it'll deem the entire series impossible to complete. As a result, it will stop executing the series altogether. So if a task in the series... If a task in the series of commands is impossible, then that will mean the commands will interrupt the entire series. Construct's final command was to wipe its memory. But if its orders were interrupted by the lockdown, then... Miss Steelman, I have nothing more to ask this witness. What? You're not giving up, are you? You even have to ask. Yeah, I thought so. But how are you going to prove he did it if he's not testifying? Don't worry. The next witness's testimony will be all I need. Next witness? That look on your face isn't one of defeat. Just what are you planning? It's nothing but desperate bravado. Now, if you'll excuse me. You've let your quarry get away, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you know what you're doing. I do, Miss Steelman. First, I'd like for the Inquisition to bring the Arcane construct in the Academy's locker room. I've already established the murderer could have wiped its history. Please, just humor me for a second, Miss Steelman. Look, I can't... It's not my fault we only have 2 rooms to work with, alright? We'll each get our own office soon enough. And then you can go to the kitchen. Hey, Avalanche. Very well. Bailiff, please relay Mr. Cuthbert's request to Commander White. Still pretty cool armor. Well, here's your construct. I hope you know what you're doing, Mr. Cuthbert. That actually... Yeah, the squeaky does pick up. Bailiff, twisted dick. Construct. What are your orders? Please recite your command history. Reporting. Command 1, stand by in Headmaster's office. Command 2, await vocal signal, attack from Theodore Redmond. You hear Redmond stand up from the gallery. Seeing this, the prosecutor watches him and carefully clutches the handle of her cane. Command 3, threat, treat Catherine Bellwether as hostile entity and neutralize. Construct, wipe your... Hold! Or huddle! Before he can finish his sentence, the prosecutor points her cane at the headmaster. Magical energy shoots from it and collides directly with him. The magic wreaths around his body and stops him from moving. He's clearly trying to struggle against it, but it looks like he can't even move his mouth. Miss Steelman! Excuse the interruption. Please continue. Command 4. Await vocal signal, leave from Theodore Redmond. Command 5. Move to classroom 2B. Reply any inquiries with voice line number 3. Command 6. Remove Catherine Bellwether from interior frame and place on 4. Thank you, Construct. You can stop now. I think we all know the rest. But just to be clear, who gave you this series of commands? Commands were provided by Headmaster Theodore Redmond. What? How? How? I ordered the construct to wipe its command history. One moment, please. Mr. Redmond, constructs don't follow the same logic that humans do. They're prone to error when their commands are impossible to execute. Impossible? In what way were my commands impossible? You were the one who made it impossible. You activated the lockdown system. Now, the body was found earlier than you'd like. You'd have no choice but to immediately activate the lockdown system when it was reported. However, the construct was still in the locker room when you did this. So that's why I was in there. The construct finished its task in the locker room, but then it tried to follow your next command. It tried to move to the storage room, but it was prevented from doing so. Completion of that command was impossible. So, the series of commands was stopped before it wiped its history. You little... Theodore Redmond, you ordered your construct to murder Catherine Bellwether. Then you had it place the murder weapon in a locker to frame Miriam Frege. And we have your construct's testimony to prove it. And that's checkmate. I'm a little mad that we don't get breakdowns. I can't believe it. How could you do something like this, Headmaster? She was going to take everything from me. My position, my academy, my students. Everything would be gone. It was going to be stolen by her and the Freges. Why didn't you say anything to me? I could have... Don't you dare stand there and act ignorant, Lady Steelwind. Do you think the Freges acted alone? Your father was part of this plot, too. What? I have nothing to say to you. I thought you were different. I listened to your lies about societal reform. God, that voice hurts my throat. In the end, you were just like the rest of the aristocracy. The scale, Lord. What have I done? I was even willing to sacrifice Paul Wallace. I can't believe Why did I... There it goes again! Why is no one catching that, man? And what I do love, though, is that they even do wipe that from your... Oh, yeah. They do wipe it from your chat list. Hey, Batboy. It appears we have a full confession. The court sees no reason to prolong this any further. Bailiff, please escort the witness to a holding cell. Mr. Cuthbert, you really did it. Feels amazing, right? Like a big weight being lifted from your shoulders. It does, but I can't believe the headmaster was the one that did this. Right. Despite everything Redmond did, he was the one that allowed Wallace to pursue his dreams. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is bittersweet for you. What am I gonna do now? Headmaster Redmond was the only reason I could even attend the academy. With him gone... Come on, don't think like that. You got acquitted. I'm sure it'll all work out. 1 second, y'all. Sorry. You want to agree, but necromancy is basically taboo. And without Redmond's support, there aren't many places he could learn it legitimately. Bring that down just a hair. Then there's the Imperial Academy. Hey, don't you get all sad on me, too. Sorry, I was just thinking. With Redmond gone, the Freges will probably just appoint another sycophant as the headmaster. Valentina, Valerie, Jan, or probably Jan, honestly. Of course it's Jan. Jan Hughes. Oh my god. They're all going to lose their jobs. Come on, you found out the truth and you put a murderer behind bars. You saved Wallace. She's right. As you start to exit the courtroom, you're greeted by Miss Timora. Was she in the gallery this entire time? At the end of the day, you saved Wallace from a wrongful conviction. You should be proud of yourself for that. Suppose you're right. Maybe I am just overthinking things. The doubt still lingers in your mind. Now, come on! I'm taking Wallace to that restaurant we went to last time. Do you remember how much that place cost? Don't worry, I have plenty of gold. Am I the only one on this team not making any gold? Why don't you meet us there, Celeste? I need to talk with Tyrion for a moment. Alright, let's go, Wallace. Okay. Boys catching feelings. You activated the Empowered Eye again, didn't you? Shouldn't appear to be praising you. I did. I didn't really have a choice. The Eye of Horus is a powerful tool, Tyrion. That's twice you've used the Empower Eye to get out of a tough spot. You can't keep relying on it if you want to grow as an attorney. One day you'll find a witness the Empowered Eye won't work on. It's worked for me this far, though. But I suppose you're right. I'll try and rely on it less next time. And that marked the end of another case in my career as a defense attorney. Another life saved and another murderer brought to justice. But I still couldn't shake this feeling of unease. Was it guilt for what happened to the faculty staff? This is something else. Eris, where are you? The Walking Dead. And Steelwind's been talking to the perp for hours. What's there even to ask at this point? Turns out she doesn't trust his testimony. Something about his memories not matching up with the crime scene. You don't think he has Mage Blade, dude, does he? No, it's not that. She found that damn symbol etched into his desk. Or what'd she call it? The purple mark? Oh, for the love of... Not this again. Look, the little lady wants to chase the boogeyman, let her. At least this time she's doing it personally instead of dragging us into it. Cass, sleep. Hey! What's up with... There's this bitch. Who did this to your desk? What's gotten into you? I've already admitted to everything. What more could you possibly want from me? Where did this graffiti come from? What is this symbol? What is the purple mark? I don't know. A student must have done it at some point. Think very hard, Headmaster. When did you receive this purple symbol? Focus on the moment you received this. Wait a minute. I remember now. How? Down. Lady Steelwind. Arya, what happened? Are you okay? That was close. My elation over meeting him almost made me forget. Eris, what are you doing here? Why? Wait, I remember now. It was you. You put those ideas in my mind. You're the one who told me to murder Bellwether. Oh, you humans never fail to amuse me. I didn't make you do anything. Everything you did that day, all the planning, all the preparation, that came from your own mind. And I have to say, I was quite entertained with the scheme you came up with. Well, you even broke into Miriam's room. God, the artwork is phenomenal. I didn't know you had it in you, old man. Forget about our conversation. But how? Illusions can't affect the mind. Magic can't affect the mind. It's a shame, though. I'd have much rather turned Wallace into the antagonist of this chapter. Could you imagine if he turned? It would have been spectacular. Armies of the undead running rampant in the streets. But alas, even I couldn't corrupt his pure soul. Answer me. Who are you? Sorry, I get the... What are you? Who am I? I'm Lord of the Sixth Circle. Rip. Well, we know she's a goddess of some kind. She's something, dark side. That's even scarier. A bored goddess. So, I'm going to take a very short break, probably about 3 or 4 minutes. I kind of want to finish my dinner. I'll try to sneak bites in the meantime, but I'm going to refresh my drink and finish up my lunch real quick. So, I will... Why do women name? Because it's chaos. Give me a quick second. There we go. Got my mic. And I'm going to add... I gotta remember how to add a... I think it's a media source? No. Text. There it is. And we will... Boop. Dragon is not tending to his mate anymore. There we go. So, yeah, should be back in about, like I said, 5 minutes at the latest, 10:05 my time. So, I'll see you guys in a bit. And we're back. I also had to make sure to wish Matthew a good night. She's going to be going to bed before we're done here. So, taste another old man. God, my throat can't handle it. The origin of Horus, though. Tyrion Cuthbert with our family. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There's so many things I wanted to tell you. So many things I wanted to show you. I'm afraid I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes, peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Hey, Han, chat. Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous. Oh my god. Look at this specimen. Ooh. Very fitting. I'm gonna try not to give him a French accent, but... because Von Sanctus gives me German accent, so... Is something wrong, Lord Von Sanctus? You filthy rat! You cheated, didn't you? Why am I going Russian? Is that a... German. Schnitzer. That's right! You're just a cheat! A cheat and a charlatan! Look at this snivelly little... Do you have any evidence to prove that ridiculous claim? Very hard slipper. I mastered just before you could crawl out of whatever rat hole you came from. Now he's going back to French. Whatever. He's just gonna be my vague accent. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me? Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I was expecting more of a challenge from House Von Sanctus. I suppose all the gold in the world can't buy you a modicum of skill. You little upstart! Ahem. Von Sanctus's acquaintance clears his throat and gestures subtly to the crowd of spectators. Everyone's attention on him, and you can see the crowd muttering amongst themselves. His undignified behavior probably didn't do him any favors for his public image. Realizing himself, he tries to regain his composure. It's preposterous. He walks away, muttering the word preposterous under his breath a few more times. Sounds like he's trying to reassure himself more than anyone else. So that was... something. Yeah, I knew he'd get angry, but I didn't expect him to make a scene like that. Well, you did insult him. Not to say he didn't deserve it. Come on, I love seeing these conceited nobles lose their minds when I beat them. It's half the fun of playing these tournaments. Wow, where's this confidence when we're in the courthouse? Court cases are different. You have to deal with real-world elements during a trial, and that includes Prosecutor Steelwin. Prosecutor Steelwin, huh? Wonder if she plays chess. Now there's a thought. You wonder if she'd be willing to play against you sometime. She can't be any worse than those pampered nobles. Anyway, we should celebrate somewhere in town. Even if he was a pushover, you just beat one of the top-ranked chess players in the kingdom. To be honest, you've had your reservations about returning to the city of Aranax. If you weren't facing one of the 4 pillars, you'd never come back here. Rather leave this city as soon as possible. I saw a cafe when we were walking around. Food smelled great. I'd really like to go there. We could always go to one of the cafes in the capital. There are plenty of places to choose from there. Trust me, I've traveled around the world. There's nothing better than food from a thriving port city. Alright. Suppose there's no harm in staying a little longer. Does have a point. City streets seem livelier than when you last saw them. Is my mouse? My mouse is... okay, it is showing up. You see a lot of businesses that weren't here before, and they seem to be very well off. Despite being a port city, Arnax used to look like a ghost town. Has the local nobility been investing in the city? You find that possibility very hard to believe. You arrive at the cafe. Ooh. Man, I can't wait till I get my 3D model. This is not a stealth bag. Shut up. Just because I can just dance along. Because I am just vibing to this. As you enter, you're struck by a powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and the stink of coffee. The scent of baked goods swirl around you. You take a moment to inhale the enticing smells, and then try not to choke on the stink of coffee. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I don't like the smell of coffee. You have to admit it's making you very hungry. You're a heathen! So, you seek to enter the domain of the Deathbringer songstress? Oh my god, Chuny. Oh god, Chuny sense. Well, if glory is what you seek, then seek no further. For you stand before Mosorika Tudor, Dark Lord of Aranax. As you head further into the cafe, you're approached by a familiar face. Mosorika Tudor. Rika? Is that you? Ha! It appears my reputation precedes me. How good of you to... Wait, you're Tyrion? You're back! Hi. Why didn't you tell anyone you were back in town? Okay, I like her. And not just because of her, attire. Jokes aside, her clothing actually looks phenomenal. I do think the red and white is such a great combination. The green as an accent color matches her eyes, ties the whole outfit really together nicely. And she is just cute. I also love the little, like, tarot card style motif on her hat. You have any idea how worried we've all been? Do you two know each other? Right. Celeste, this is Mosorika Tudor. I was friends with her when I lived here many years ago. Wait, you used to live here? Yeah. Arnax is actually the town I grew up in. What? But you were in such a hurry to leave before. You came here to eat, right? If you're still hungry, I can bring you some of our best dishes. On the house. No, I couldn't possibly... Come on, don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you. And you know how good my food is. Okay, but only for a little while. Rika sets the table for 3 of you and calls over a waiter. You all place your orders. Tell me everything. I want to know all about what you've been doing since you left. But before that, let's take a look around. This table looks really well made. Do you like it? I commissioned a local carpenter to have my tables custom made. It's probably worth it. They fit well with the humble and rustic vibe you got going on. There's a shelf full of drinks, mugs, and sugar behind the restaurant counter. This must be where Rika's employees prefer coffee to be served. Seems to have decorated with several plants and flowers. The greens add a fresh and earthy ambiance to the restaurant. There's some barrels stacked in the corner here. I wonder what's inside. Wait, Rika, you wouldn't happen to have lotus juice, would you? Lotus juice? What's that? Never mind. What happened to the lotus juice you received from Miriam? I drank all of it. Already? Hasn't even been a month. So, are you going to introduce us? Right. This is Celeste McCoy. She's my bodyguard. Bodyguard? And Celeste, this is... as if I need such introductions. I am Mosorika Tudor, Dark Lord of Aranax, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and the proud proprietor of this cafe. Oh, okay. I was friends with her when I used to live here. She's a little eccentric, but she's a good person at heart. Hey! She's also a common folk mage like you. Oh right, evocation, I didn't notice. Ha! So you come from the same humble beginnings I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know about 7 spells, though. 7? That's almost 4 times the amount that I know. She's learned even more spells? She's been picking them up quickly. I've been usurped. Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. You're wearing a suit now, and you even have a bodyguard. Honestly, Vanguard, I know who you're referring to. I find that small channels do... Much like they kind of mentioned here, they have kind of a more homey atmosphere. And that's not to say I'd never want to be big. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit and say, like, hey, if I could do this for a living, and I don't even need, like, millions of fans or millions of followers. 200,000 would be amazing to me. But I'd almost rather have a smaller community where I can take the time to interact and know everybody I talk to, you know? I don't need big numbers where my chat's constantly blurring and nobody can be heard. I don't like that. So, but yeah, that's probably because, while I may only have 75, 76, 70, 70, high 70s subs, people are active. People talk. People like to be around each other. And that's the atmosphere I want. Be happy to be around each other, not just me. I'm basically the lounge singer, and that makes me happy. Look at you, Mr. Oh, yeah, even have a bodyguard. Did you get an office job in the big city? Something like that. I'm actually a defense attorney now. A defense attorney? I see. Is that why you left town with that scary lady? Scary lady? Are you talking about Ruby? Miss Timora adopted me. My mother passed several years ago. After that, she began training me to become an attorney like her. Also kind of love the idea... Yeah, agreed, Avalanche. I do kind of love the idea that in this world, you train to be an attorney like you train to be a knight. Wait, you've been studying to be an attorney since you were a kid? I guess that explains why you're so young for a lawyer, said the 19-year-old mercenary. Yeah, I guess you got me there. You'll get higher too, Vanguard. I have no doubt you'll get about as high as you want to be. Speaking of which, go... You know what? Where is it? Where is it? No, not channel activity, you prick. Go to channel. There it is. If y'all want to be around the Snortex more, go ahead and check out my boy Vanguard. There you go. Man makes good content. He's good people. You the owner of this cafe, Rika? Oh, left that sound in the background. I mean, honestly, that should be everybody's goal. You know, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure you agree with me. You agree with me, Vanguard. At the end of the day, I would do this for free. Would I like money from it? Absolutely. This is a blast to do. But if YouTube tomorrow said, hey, look, we're going back to the way it was in the old days. You can't make money on this site. You can't advertise. No ads. No coffee. Nothing. I'm still here. I do this for fun. I do this to share things. If even one, like Jay, for example, and granted, he's a personal friend, but if even one person picks up a game that I show them, and they say, hey, thank you for showing me this game, I feel good about myself. That is my goal. That makes me feel like a success. I don't care if I never make another penny on this channel. If I can show people games. If I can make sure that stories that deserve to be told are told. You always spoke about opening one when we were kids. Yep, and it's all thanks to the Dracogen Trading Company. The company's owner invested in my business after trying my food. Because of him, I was able to open up here, just like I always dreamed. Dracogen Trading Company? I don't think I've heard of them. Well, they have Draco in the name, so they have to be good. They're pretty small right now, and they're all really operating in Arnax. But I hear they're planning to expand their operations throughout Wyverngard. I'd have thought that Lord Von Sanctus would have weeded out any competition. After all, he owns one of the largest businesses in the kingdom. Lord Von Sanctus? Isn't he that pompous noble I beat in chess this morning? Wait, that was you? I didn't even know he was a businessman. Von Sanctus Industries invented those arcane constructs that we saw in the Imperial Academy. Hey, there you go. Exactly, though, Vanguard. As for me, I mean, it doesn't matter what I do with my life. If Because I want to... I'm still chasing my dream of working for myself, of being a writer, of being a creator. And it's not coming easy, I'll say that, but I'm still chasing it. And it's entirely thanks to Maffy that I'm able to do that. But I'm also going into college to do IT, so I have, you know, a job in the backup in case that falls through entirely. I don't intend to make, the point of all that is, I don't intend to make YouTube a career, but I'm not unwilling to. But at the same time, again, who cares? It's for fun. Whether I make millions, whether I make nothing, I'm gonna be doing this. How do you not know about these things? You practically fight against nobles for a living. Maybe you should start reading more about national policies. Is it just me, or does the city look less depressing than before? Oh, right. You left the city before the new merchants appeared. New merchants? Like, from a merchant's guild? Yeah. The Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first ones. Started operating here and brought the Arcane refinery a few years later. After that, merchants from all over Wyvern Guard started coming here. Well, being in a base in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And their presence has really helped the city's economy. They aren't owned by the nobility, and they pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's really improved the quality of life for people here. Okay, so I don't know who the victim is. I'm a little scared it's going to be Rika. I kind of hope that the murderer is not a noble for once. Like, I say for once, the last case he wasn't a noble. What the fuck am I talking about? Never mind. Wait, no, he... Was he a noble? Because he had Arcane. Whatever. Past is past, boy's dead now. There's even talk about forming employee-run union, and... I'm not going to talk about unions. No, Von Sanctus definitely won't appreciate that. So, you still play chess? Yeah, I'm nationally ranked, too. I heard that an upstart commoner defeated Lord Von Sanctus this morning. I had no idea they're talking about you. Upstart commoner. Name suits you, Tyrion. Hey, you still do that thing when you play? No. What thing? Nothing. She's not talking about anything. Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When we were kids, you did it even more than I did. What? What did he used to do? Why don't you show her, Tyrion? I'd rather not. Come on, show us, Tyrion. The thing. I think I'm a little too old for this. You're never too old to chap into your own inner chuny. She is a fucking chuny. Obviously I knew it, but she calls herself a goddamn chuny. Oh my god. So for people who aren't huge weebs, chuny is short for, like, I think it's chunibyo? Chuny... Chuny. Yeah, chunibyo. Which roughly translates to... Well, okay. Literally it translates to middle school syndrome, but essentially anyone who was in school when anime was a thing, and I don't know if this existed beforehand, and my older viewers can tell me, those kids that like to pretend they were in an anime, the ones that would literally start screaming and thinking they were Dragon Ball key charging, you know what I mean? That is a chuny. The difference is, well, that's not a chuny, that's just being a kid. A chuny is someone who never grows out of it. So, that is a chunibyo. Or a chuny. Yeah, or a Naruto run. Do it, Tyrion! Yeah, do it! The two of them begin chanting, trying to pressure you. It draws the attention of the other patron in the cafe. They don't seem to care about the confused looks they're getting. I would kill both of them. It seems you don't have a choice. You take in a deep breath. Oh my god. Clipped, I just know it. Those who stand in the shadows, those who fear the light of divinity, your Imperials will fall and your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze and the eye of Horus. They're trying their hardest to contain their laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. It was really cool, Tyrion. Her poorly contained laughs are coming out between each word. And why are you laughing? You were just doing it a minute ago. Yeah, but she owns it. Ugh. You used to say something else before, too. I won't let anyone stand in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god. Yeah, that's it. He still says that sometimes. Oh, looks like our order is here. A waiter brings the lunch special for each of you. The enticing aroma of the meals makes you salivate a little. You gladly devour the meal. Rika's cooking is just as good as you remembered. Wait, but she didn't cook it. She's been here the whole time. You spend more time catching up with her while you finish your meal. As your conversation continues, you and Celeste regale her with stories of your past court cases. No! Really? Yep, turned out it was the headmaster the entire time. Wow, I never figured that out. How'd you know, Tyrion? Maybe he saw it with his eye of Horus. You nearly choke on your drink before you realize what she's actually referring to. Ow, I can't believe it. I never thought court cases could be that dramatic. You finish your meal as you continue to tell Rika more about your cases. It's nice being able to talk to her again. Oh, hi! Does anyone else see that giant-ass death flag? You tried so hard to leave everything behind after what happened, but you're happy she seems to be doing well. Well, it's been nice catching up with you, Rika. But I think it's time for us to get going. What? We just got here. It's okay. I'm sure you're pretty busy nowadays. I won't keep you any longer. But be sure to write, okay? Don't just go and disappear like last time. Yeah, I'll stay in touch. You better. Rabble, 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 rabble. You exit your cafe and make your way to the local Merchants Guild to rent a carriage. City streets seem a bit more crowded than usual. It's a little difficult to make your way through them. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Celeste is fidgeting with her hands. She looks like she wants to say something, but every time she starts to speak, she quickly stops herself. This happens a few more times before she seems to give up. Never mind. It's nothing. Okay. You both continue to walk silently as you make your way to the Merchants Guild. As you make your way there, the streets become more and more crowded. You hope the traffic won't interfere with the ride home. Hi, could we rent a carriage for travel to Rothholm? Sorry, but the outside of the city, travel outside the city is temporarily closed. What? Why? Haven't you heard? Knights of the Kingsguard locked down the city. I set up a blockade and everything. Check the city gates if you don't believe me. Okay, so good news is Rika's not the victim, but she's definitely the defendant. So you arrive at the city gates, you see the blockade that the merchant was talking about. Crowded, disgruntled townsfolk are angrily shouting at the night station there. This is outrageous! How long do you intend to plan on keeping us here? Sorry, but we have our orders. Can't let anyone outside the city until the investigation is complete. It's an investigation? Did something happen? Can you at least tell us what's going on? Why is the entire city being blockaded? Sorry, sir. We're not allowed to release that information. Just have to make other arrangements while we sort this out. Actually, I haven't seen you two around before. I'll need to take down your names and occupations for our record. What? Why? It's fine, Celeste. We're better off just cooperating with them. It's an invasion of privacy, but you'd rather not resist orders from the Kingsguard. Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm a defense attorney. Fine. Celeste McCoy, bodyguard. Thanks. You look over the other Kingsguard, and they seem to be taking notes of the people here, too. Must be making a list of everyone inside the city. But for what reason? There's the blockade. I have an important engagement tomorrow. What am I supposed to do now? This can't possibly be legal. The townsfolk continue shouting at the knights, but it's clear they won't be budging anytime soon. What do we do now? You notice it's starting to get late. We don't know how long the city will be blockaded. We should find a place to stay overnight, just in case. This is a cute little... This is the exact same tavern as the McCoy Tavern. Hey, can you guys tell it's an indie game? You walk into a nearby tavern and see it absolutely crowded with patrons. Looks like everyone else had the same idea. Bro, do you just have... Are you like octuplets? Are you a joy? Hey, welcome to the Eggwin Tavern. What can I do for you? Let me get 2 rooms for the night. Sorry, can't even spare 1. Completely full with the blockade and all. Wait, let me take care of this. Celeste takes out a large pouch of gold and plops it on the innkeeper's desk. Would you look at that? One of our rooms just opened up. Only one? Hey, the entire city's locked down. Even with your gold, it's the best I can do for you. What? Embarrassed to share a room with me, Tyrion? No, it's just... You realize she's just teasing you like she usually does. Best not to give it any mind. Well, it's better than nothing. So, how should we... I was just kidding before. You can have the bed. I'll just sleep on the floor. What? I can't just let you... Please, we may both be commoners, but you live a cushy life in this city. I'm a mercenary. I've lived on the road for years. Sleep like this all the time. She's got you there. Alright, but tell me if you change your mind. No. Come on, man. Good gentleman counterpoint. Listen, for anyone who finds himself in this situation, and it's more common than you'd think, that is a good argument. I've heard women use it on me before. And the best counter argument is, where it's just like, oh, but, you know, you have it easier, so you should. And the answer is, no, exactly. I usually have it easier. So that means that now we have a chance so I can let it make it easier for you. There's your tip of the day. Yeah. Hey, I didn't see you there. Let's just walk past him. What? Hey, watch it. Quit shoving me. Whoa! Holy crap, pull me up. I can't hold on for much longer. Idiot, what are you doing? What? Grab his arm and pull him up. Ah! Your grip is too tight. Stop that. Wait, I can still... No. What happened? I should have been able to... And the scaled lord, he fell in. No, I can use this. That's right, I can still make this look like it was all his fault. Please let us actually have the noble as a defendant. It'd be nice that the nobles aren't all psychotic. You'd find yourself falling into a nightmare. Tyrion, I'm so sorry. I can't believe they made you watch. Are you okay? Aged head. Right. Did they execute this kid's mother in front of him? Are you gonna keep fighting them? Your voice is quiet. Your question barely comes out as a whisper. What? Are you gonna keep fighting the nobility? I don't know if I can anymore. Today they showed me what they're truly capable of. I was naive. I thought the truth would prevail, but I'm only one person. I can't do this alone anymore. So you're just gonna give up? You're the only one who will fight against them! If you're just gonna give up, then was my mother's death truly pointless? I'm sorry. Teach me how to be like you. What? You said you can't do this alone anymore, right? So, teach me how to be a defense attorney. I can help you. We can fight them together. Tyrion, you're just a child. I can't... Miss Timora, please. I don't have anything left. Please just take me away from here. You clutch your hand tightly, feeling the fading warmth of the final message that your mother left for you. It's the last comforting memory you'll have of her. It's a memory you'll never experience again. The hell was that? You're startled awake. After some confusion, you realize it was all a dream. You don't have any trouble falling asleep, but your slumber was less than restful. Well, since you remember that day. Sounds like fire, too. The audio's really not picking it up if I crank it. You hear that little crackling. All the more reason to leave the city as soon as possible. Celeste, you up? Huh? Celeste was wistfully staring out the window. Oh, it's rain. Watching the rain. Her head whips towards you and she realizes you're awake. Okay, what's wrong? Nothing. It's nothing. He wasn't awake, was he? Did you make out with the man? Didn't seem keen on sharing. It's best not to pry. Anyway, you know the city's still under lockdown? I haven't checked yet. I was waiting for you to wake up. God, I love rain. Sorry, just... I'm... Some people are really soothed by ASMR. For me, the white noise of rain, even in a digital format, is so soothing to me. So relaxing. And I know exactly why. It's one of the last things I have of my grandmother. And I mean, I'm never shy that I'm a Florida man. So we get rainstorms here all the time. It used to be worse, but when I was a kid, as many kids are, I used to be terrified of thunder. And it was my grandma that made me actually enjoy thunder. And part of that was just memories of sitting at storms just like this one. Just sitting at the window, listening to the rain. So rain is one of those things that just always instantly soothes me. You go outside and check the city gates. The blockade still hasn't disappeared. In fact, it looks like it's been fortified with even more knights. Looks like we can't leave yet. They're getting doubled on the guards. What's going on here? Tyrion! You spot Rika in the distance as she calls out to you. As soon as she sees you, she breaks into a full sprint towards you. She looks exhausted. Has she been looking for you in the rain? Yeah, Avalanche. I know rain has some negative connotations for a lot of people, but for me, it's always just going to be very soothing. Even, like, hurricane rain is more relaxing to me than anything. Tyrion, it's terrible! There was an accident at the Arcane refinery last night. One of my friends who worked there, he fell into a vat of chemicals. He's dead. Rika, I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do... Lord Von Sanctus is blaming the Dracogen Trading Company. He's trying to charge the owner with criminal negligence. As the lord of this region, Von Sanctus would have a lot of leverage in a regal battle like this. Must be using this accident as an opportunity to oust Dracogen from this territory. Tyrion, you're a lawyer, aren't you? Can you help them? I don't think I can. What? But... Rika, I specialize in homicide cases. Most of my clients are mages who've been charged with murder. Never even tried a case like this before. There isn't any magic involved, and there's no killer. Don't worry, I'm sure that Dracogen Trading Company knows plenty of qualified attorneys who can help. Not so sure about that. Think about it. A lord from one of the four-pillar families is pressing those charges. Do you honestly think anyone else will fight them on this? Which is the point. There aren't many attorneys who will go against nobility under any circumstances. The only ones who do that are you and Miss Timora. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Really? Please don't get your hopes up. I have very little information to work with right now. To be perfectly honest, I'm really out of my element. It's okay. I'm sure Mr. Dracogen will take any help he can get. Mr. Dracogen? He's the owner of the Dracogen Trading Company. He should be at the old Arcane refinery right now. Must be the scene of the accident, too. It'd probably be best to start your investigation there. I've been away from the shop for so long, so I can't come with you. But drop by the cafe if there's anything I can do to help. He follows Rika's directions and moves through the city's industrial district. Though, I'd like to point out one thing. While we've only seen humans thus far, we have heard mention of goblins. So there are at least monsters. Reminds you of your childhood, back when you couldn't control the Eye of Horus. You always avoided this part of the city. It's always covered with an overwhelming fog of misery and fatigue. However, you feel less of it now. Is it because you have more control of your powers, or has something else changed? Alright, we're here. You arrive at the refinery and see there aren't many people around. The few people you do see appear to be from the city watch. Operations must have been halted after the accident. Wow, so this is an Arcane refinery. We saw this place as a child, but I never really understood what they do here. Those machines refine the arcane crystals that are used in the artificery. Those crystals are used as power sources for conducting magical energy. Okay, so me slapping my leg a little bit is picking up. You look around and spot an especially frustrated individual. He seems to stand out from the knights and cleaning staff. Could he be the guildmaster Rika spoke of? He takes notice of you as they head into the refinery. Hello there. You must be the attorney that Miss Tudor spoke of. I take it you're the guildmaster of the Dracogen Trading Company? Yes, my name is Stefanik Dracogen. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I really appreciate you lending your aid in this matter. This guy looks like Gant from actual Phoenix, right? But I'm pretty sure he's a good guy. We told Rika this, but I've already told Rika this, but I've never tried a civil case before. I need to learn more about what happened before I decide whether or not I can represent you. Honestly not sure how much help I can be. Well, there isn't a single attorney in Arnex that will represent me, so I accept whatever help I can get. Celeste was right. All the attorneys are too afraid to stand against Lord Von Sanctus. Where should we start, though? This case is probably different than the homicides we're used to. Homicide or not, the case revolves around a wrongful death. If I did represent Dracogen, I'd need to prove that he wasn't at fault for the accident. To do that, you should start by finding out exactly how and why the accident occurred. You should also question the witness who saw the victim when it happened. And it wouldn't hurt to take a look at the scene of the accident either. The Guildmaster would have a lot of knowledge on the operations. Questioning him might also give you some insight. Let's go. To start, could you tell us exactly what happened? Began during the work rush yesterday evening. One of my employees fell from the walkway into the vat of magical chemicals. Those chemicals contain extremely volatile and destructive evocation magic. Because of that, he unfortunately died before we could pull him out. I see. But all that just sounds like an unfortunate accident. Why is Lord Von Sanctus blaming you for what happened? There are guardrails on the walkway to prevent people from falling. Supposedly, those guardrails broke apart when the employee tried to lean against them. According to Von Sanctus, the accident was a direct result of my negligence to maintain the refinery, but my employees have been taking great care to inspect and maintain the facilities. No idea how this happened. Is he telling the truth? This will all just be lip service. The only way to know for sure is to inspect the walkway yourself. Earlier you said the victim was an employee of yours. Could you tell us more about them? Yes, I hired him just a few months ago. It's a shame what happened to him. He's a young man named Justin Way. Is he a good employee? He is a hard worker, but he was a bit rough around the edges when he first started. Before working for me, I heard he's always spent his time in the local delinquents. Miss Tudor practically begged me to hire him. Told me he wanted to turn his life around. Sounds like something Rika would do. 1 second. Magic reveal, huh? She always had a habit of getting involved in her friend's personal business. Yeah, he has no magic. When you live a life like Justin's, it helps when you have something to give your life some structure and direction. True. So I decided to give the boy a chance by hiring him. He was clearly a hard worker. He did well to earn his keep. He always followed the rules too, so I have no idea why he was up on that walkway. Wait, he wasn't supposed to be? Earlier you mentioned that Justin wasn't supposed to be on the walkway. What do you mean by that? Well, Justin worked in an entirely different department. He was part of a team that managed packaging and freight. He had no business being inside the refinery building, much less in the upper walkway. It's strange, to say the least. Is he the type of person to wander around places he's not supposed to? No, like I said before, he always followed my rules. It just makes the whole situation that much more confusing. Is there anyone around when the accident occurred? Did anyone see Justin fall? There were many employees here at the time, but there were only a handful of witnesses who actually saw Justin fall from the walkway. Who were these witnesses? If I remember correctly, Miss Tudor was the one who saw him fall. Wait, Rika was there when it happened? Yes, she witnessed the accident alongside the harbor master. Morrison. Oh, you're acquainted with him? I am. Morrison was close friends with your mother when you were a child. But after you left Ornex, you went out of your way to cut contact with everyone from your past. But what were all these people doing here in the first place? Rika's a cafe owner and Morrison's a harbor master. I'm a little concerned about that myself. I'm still unsure about Miss Tudor, but the harbor master was accompanied by a nobleman of some sort. Nobleman? Not privy to the specifics, but apparently that nobleman had the legal authority to go wherever he wanted. You'll want to ask Morrison more about that. It'll be awkward to speak to him after all these years. First, I'm willing to bet we're about to get blinded by magic.
Repario Arcanum.
Oh. There are traces of transmutation on this power box. It is an artificer device, so it's not too much out of the ordinary. Parts of the vat. Okay, yeah, so this is all normal. This being the walkway the victim fell for. Supposedly the guard rails broke apart and the victim leaned against them. You have to move closer, of course. Vat filled with chemicals you can't identify. These chemicals are used to refine and create arcane crystals. The power box contains artificial hardware and arcane power cell. It's connected to the chemical vat, so it controls some function. Metal stairs lead up to the walkway. Alright. Yeah, I'm willing to bet. Tyrion, you need me to scan for magical traces? No, there aren't any magical elements in this case. Suppose it wouldn't hurt to check. Alright.
Repario Arcanum.
Good call, baby. What? What's wrong? There are traces of transmutation all over the guardrails. Transmutation? You see those traces anywhere else on the walkway? No, it's only this area. Transmutation is the school of magic that changes the properties of physical objects. Usually mages use transmutation spells to strengthen and repair objects. How did the transmutation spell affect the guardrail? Someone used a spell to change the physical properties of the guardrail. Judging by the current state of the rails, we can only choose... The spell weakened the structural integrity of the walkway, of the guardrails. Someone used a transmutation spell to weaken the rails. Afterwards, the guardrails are so weak that Justin accidentally broke them. And only these guardrails were weakened. The sabotage rails are right next to this vat of corrosive chemicals, too. What was the intention of weakening the guardrail? There's a clear intention behind the actions of this unknown mage. Judging by what happened, that intention could be only one thing. The unknown mage wanted someone to fall into the vat. Whoever sabotaged the guardrail wanted someone to fall into the vat. Why else would they only target these specific guardrails? But why? Who would do this? You can feel your fists clenching tightly. Someone committed murder using magic here. Whoever did this had the gall to try and cover it up. Tyrion? You won't forgive whoever did this. When you're through with them, you'll make them feel a fraction of the misery that your mother... Tyrion! What? Are you okay? Right. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's no problem, Avalanche. I love lurkers. Lurkers... Here's a little tip I picked up about streaming. And granted, I was told this. Lurkers are the golden goose for streamers. Because a good streamer doesn't need to constantly be interacting with this chat. It's always fun, don't get me wrong. I'm always glad to interact with chat. But a lurker? Yeah, a lurker is just going to chill in the background. And they're going to be there the whole stream because they're not literally paying attention and needing to be engaged. They're just have you on the second monitor. So that's just free engagement. So yeah, we love lurkers. The only thing I don't like about lurkers, and this is only because I'm so small right now, is it kind of sets off my imposter complex, imposter syndrome. where I start looking at, like, yesterday. Like, we had, like, 7 was our peak. We had 7 people in chat, apparently watching, but only, like, 3 people were chatting. And I got confused, and I'm just like, but where are the other 4 people? Are they real? There's no way 4 people are just putting me on in the background. Right, sorry. Anyway, if it weren't for your detect magic, everyone would have written this off as an accident. Magical traces are only detectable 48 hours after a mage casts a spell. That means whoever cast this transmutation spell did so recently. Right.
Arcanum.
Traces of evocation in the chemicals. Okay, yeah. Guardrails completely broke apart. The rails are completely rusted, too. Stracogen, we already know. That a dangerous chemical. Corrosive enough to dissolve anyone unfortunate enough to fall in. That sounds like a horrible way to go, too. We can't tell him? Yeah. Okay, wait till we get more information. Great. You arrive at harbor in search of Morrison, the harbor master. However, you notice a large concentration of knights in the shipping area. Notably, the Arcane Inquisition is among them. Spot Commander White and Prosecutor Steele when coordinating the knights there. I wonder what those two are doing here. Knights of the Blockade said they were investigating something. We already know there's magic involved, Cuthbert. I doubt it, blah, blah, blah. Wait, that's a good point. I did, hun. I did look at all the spouts. They all were just saying that, yeah, it has something to do with the refining process. But that is a good point here. That the Arcane Inquisition wasn't at the refinery. Nothing to do with our case. Best to leave them to their business. Oi, you there. You'd best clear out. The knights are closed to harbor. Orson? I know you. Wait, Cuthbert, is that you? I heard from little Mosarica you were back in town. What can I do for you? I heard you were at the refinery yesterday. We heard you witnessed the accident. Wanted to ask you some questions about it. Well, yeah, I only did click one, but the others were marked as checked. So it means that it means that they all had the exact same thing. Alright, Mosarica mentioned you're an attorney now. What? Just hope you're not still hung up on that business with your mother. Sorry, I guess it's not any business. Anyway, I'll tell you what I know. God, my throat. Can I get a mission with? Can I get a job with mostly females, please, so I can take the rest of my break from the gravelly old men voice? Dracogen told us you witnessed the accident. Aye, it's a horrible thing what happened. No one deserves what happened to that poor lad. Did you tell us what you saw? I was showing a patron around town, and for some reason he really wanted to take a look at the refinery. Something about checking out the local artificery. He must have meant artificery. Anyway, he's looking at the machinery, then suddenly Mosarica comes running toward us. She's trying to tell us something, but the damn machines are too loud for us to hear her. After a while, she just put her through the walkway. We saw the horrible sight. Saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. Matched up, so far. What was Rika even doing there? She should have still been running the cafe at the time of the accident. That patron who was visiting the factory, did they witness it? Tell us how Justin fell off the walkway. It's because the guardrail broke under his weight. Yeah, he did. But it was a little strange. The guardrail was made of metal, yeah? But the way it broke, you'd have thought it was made of cardboard. They barely leaned on it and it just broke apart. Even a poorly maintained guardrail shouldn't have broken that easy. Did someone really use transmutation to sabotage it? If so, that possibility could clear Dracogen's name. But presenting the possibility of a magical crime might just complicate things. You mentioned you were escorting a patron around when the accident happened. Who was he? Did he witness the accident too? Aye, he was right there with me when Rika was trying to get our attention. It'd be hard to miss the commotion she was making. So where he was, he said his name was Asta. Aster. You don't know anyone by that name. Why does that sound familiar? Do you know what his surname was? Nope. The lad was real secretive with his last name for some reason. Must have had a recognizable name. Is he a noble from the well-known house? Why were you escorting this Aster in the first place? Don't you have to manage the harbor? I can't really manage anything because of him. He gestures to the Inquisition Knights crowding the pier. They blockaded all sea travel out of the city till this mess is sorted out. They have a lot of knights investigating the harbor. You know what they're looking for? Oh, you didn't hear this from me. But according to them, Aster's ship just up and vanished in the dead of night. Vanished? As in someone hijacked it. That's the thing. The guards would have noticed if someone had driven off the ship. Especially one of that size. What I heard, one of the guards could have sworn they saw it vanish in a flash of light. Flash of light? Like something created by a spell. What kind of ship was it? How big it was? The size of it? So it's probably a galleon. Yeah, it was... Honestly, y'all ain't gonna believe me. That was my assumption. And I'm not super well versed in ships, but I played a fuck ton of Sid Meier's Pirates when I was a kid. Galleon? A spell of that size would be pretty powerful to affect a ship of that size. I wonder who this Aster person is. He must be high profile if they're calling in the Kingsguard and the Inquisition for him. Over a missing ship. Spend my time with him. Am I correct, Larson? Did he tell you where he was staying? I remember right. He's staying at the local inn near the town square. Wait, that's the tavern we're staying at. If he's this high profile, why is he staying at an inn for commoners? No idea. He's an eccentric one for sure. Whoever is, he also witnessed the accident. They'll definitely want to speak with him. And if he's a noble, there's a chance he's the mage that sabotaged the guardrail. That'd be it. Let's go see Rika. Yeah, exactly. It's a big-ass ship. You arrive at the cafe and see the restaurant's packed with customers. You don't see Rika anywhere, though. She must be preoccupied. Maybe you should check when the restaurant's less busy. Morrison said that Aster's staying in one of the rooms in this tavern. Which one is it? Oh, we should check each room. That might irritate the patrons, though. And if Aster doesn't want to be found, we might alert him if we annoy too many people. I guess you're right. Your family owns a tavern, right? If you had to put a VIP somewhere, which room would you choose? It'd probably be the one at the end of the hallway. That's the one I use at my family's tavern. Well, someone does come to answer the door, but they only open it a fraction of the way. The crack is less than an inch wide. You can't get a look at the person's face. Yeah, I should go back and check that, you're right. I'm terribly sorry, but if your business is urgent, I'd like to be left alone. Sorry if I'm intruding, but are you Aster? My name's Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm the defense attorney of Stefanik Dracogen. From what I've heard, you witnessed the accident at the refinery yesterday? I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about what you saw. Look at this pretty boy. Upon hearing your name, the man fully opens the door. This is the Crown Prince, isn't it? Definitely stands out from the other patrons of the inn. He must be the wealthy patron you're looking for. Tyrion Cuthbert, the protege of the infamous Ruby Timora. So you know who I am. I do. I know you very well. I'm your biggest fan! Oh boy. What? I can't believe it! The infamous Tyrion Cuthbert is standing right in front of my tavern room. What? I've read all about your feats, Mr. Cuthbert. You successfully indicted the head of House Pierce, you didn't think twice about confronting a member of House Freyga, and you even defeated Lord Von Sanctus in the chess tournament yesterday. I'm so lost right now. And you must be Celeste McCoy, Tyrion's first client, the Crimson Demon of the Eastern Kingdoms. How did you find out about that name? The Crimson what? Don't ask. Anyway, if you are Aster, does that mean you witnessed the accident at the harbor? With the Pretty Man fan? The harbor master yesterday? Yes, I did. Are you going to interrogate me about what I saw? I'll answer whatever questions you have. You've never met a witness this eager to cooperate. Hopefully this means he won't hide any details about what he saw.
Repario Arcanum.
Alright, before that, totally not, Your Highness.
Repario Arcanum.
No signs of magic. Bought a ship. I used to travel by sea all the time when I was traveling the world. Probably my favorite part. I'd like to try riding one day. Sure, you get motion sick pretty easy. Sailing on a ship might kill you. Shows the point. Oh. Yeah, see, hun? These have the exact same one, so it marked it as already done. Row of houses line the edge of the harbor. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of saving up gold to buy my own house in the harbor front. Well, you have a job as an attorney now. You can always move back here. No, if possible, I never want to return to this city again. Several crates containing all sides of goods. Must be the merchandise of the local businesses. I didn't think there was anything here other than the possible Arcanum, but it was worth a look. Alright, totally not, Your Highness. You clearly know who I am, but I'm still unsure who you are, Aster. My apologies, but I'd prefer to keep my full identity hidden for now. It is right to do so, but you can't help but feel a little suspicious. In any case, what's your business in Ardax? I was accompanying a ship transporting goods to Lord Von Sanctus. Same ship that was magically stolen? I'm surprised you found out about that. The Kingsguard have been trying their best to keep that information hidden. But I suppose I shouldn't expect anything less from you, Mr. Cuthbert. Flattery will get him nowhere. What was on that ship? It must be pretty valuable to be worth stealing. I doubt there's anything on that ship worth drawing the ire of the entire kingdom. Truth is, during the time that my ship was stolen, I was supposed to be on it. It was an attempted kidnapping of the crown prince, which is why the Kingsguard are flipping the fuck out about it. See, theft of the ship might actually have been an attempt to kidnap you. That's my current theory, anyway. Wouldn't make sense otherwise. Seems awfully calm about this, because he's been kidnapped attempts all his life. According to Morrison, you were also in the refinery that night. And he has the legal precedent to go wherever he damn well pleases. Yeah, he is definitely the crown prince. Did you witness the moment the victim fell into that? I did. Could you tell us exactly what you saw? Every detail you remember could be important. Well, it began when I was visiting the refinery with the harbor master. I was expecting the refinery's machines, when a girl frantically ran toward us. She was hysterical. Looked like she was trying to tell us something. But we couldn't hear her over the noise of the machines. When she realized she couldn't hear, she simply pointed at the walkway. That's when we saw Justin Way fall off it and into the vat. That is suspicious as hell. So, why would she come yelling at them and then point them at the guy rather than go and try and help herself? Rika doesn't strike me as the type of girl that would try and get a man to save someone. I think we're dealing with another illusion spell. This next question is very important. Did you see the victim break the guardrail by leaning on it? Yes, he broke the guardrail before he fell. Exactly what Morrison said. The way he fell was very strange, though. Strange? What can he mean by that? Ares, why are you begging? Fat boy? I know Mama fed you. I can see the evidence. Come here. Get out here. Did you feel like the guardrail broke too easy? Why, yes. How'd you know? Matches with the statement the harbor master gave us. You don't want to reveal the transmutation you found on the walkway. At least not yet. Excuse me? But yes, the guardrail broke the moment that Justin leaned on it. And his body was extremely limp when falling too. He was already dead. He was already dead. His body was limp? Normally, when falling from a great height, one would flail their arms, yes? But I saw him falling. He wasn't moving at all. He wasn't moving? Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How do you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? No one else had been reported missing. They also found the remnants of Justin's body in the vat. It was definitely him that fell in. It's true. You don't have any reason to believe that Justin might still be alive. Traces of transmutation magic. Appears Aster is a high-profile individual. He's probably a mage, and aside from Rika, who's the only other mage at the refinery. If you ask him outright, you might be able to see something incriminating through the eye of Horus. Aster, we'll respect your privacy if you don't want to tell us who you are. But could you at least answer one question for me? I make no promises, but I'll do my best to tell you what I can. Are you a mage? Oh? Is that all? Yes, I'm a mage, and I'm quite the practiced one at that. You see, Celeste cast Detect Magic to look at the scene of the accident, and we found traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene. Namely on the guardrails that Justin fell through. What? Here it is. I can't believe it! What? Are you telling me that the mage used transmutation magic to weakness the rig in the rails? It's a conspiracy! Wait, does that mean this was a murder made to look like an accident? It's like something in the reports I read about him. Okay, so this is giving me a head trip because the way I found out about this game was... I'm going to turn down the volume of the music just a hair. The way I found out about this game was through someone playing a ROM hack called The Hero of Law, which is a Ocarina of Time turned into Phoenix Wright. And it's amazing. I would replay it, but it's one of those things that I already know the case so well. I solved it. I know what to do. Excuse the sniffle. Sorry. So, I wouldn't want to play it on the channel, but I highly recommend y'all look into it. And there comes a point where Zelda does this exact energy. Where she's just so excited. Like, it's innocent, but she's so excited that someone died because she's always wanted to be part of a court case. You don't see anything incriminating, and you can see his thoughts clearly. His feelings of happiness are a bit off-putting, though. And you asked me if I was a mage. Does that mean I'm a potential suspect? This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me! This is the first time you've met someone happy to be suspected of murder. Sorry, it's not right about me to get excited over something so serious. You must think less of me now. But it's like something right out of a mystery novel! That's not the reaction you were expecting. Nevertheless, it doesn't look like there are any incriminating thoughts in his mind. And the emotions he was emanating are all positive. There wasn't a drop of fear in there. What could this mean? Either way, it looks like you found out everything you can from Aster. You should move somewhere else. Goodbye, Aster. See you later, Your Highness. Tyrion, you're back! Did you talk to Mr. Dracogen? I did. We're still not sure what to make of him just yet. But after what I've seen today, I don't think I can turn a blind eye to what's happening. Traces of transmutation. We know, Tyrion. Someone sabotaged. Truly was a murder. You have to figure out how to do this. I'll represent him in court for the criminal case. Thanks! It really means a lot to me. On that note, you were at the refinery when the accident occurred, am I correct? Yes, I was. So it wasn't disguised to look like Rika. Yeah, she was definitely there. May I ask you a few questions about what you saw that day? Of course. I'll do whatever I can to help. Psychological profile. We're going to have to argue with her. By the way, why were you at the refinery that day? Didn't you have work at the cafe? I was making a food delivery to Justin. Wait, you were delivering food to the victim? Yeah, never had the time to make his own dinner. So I always delivered his dinner during the evening break. But that night I couldn't find him in the freight area, so I went looking for him in the refinery building. So the accident happened while you were delivering his food. Did you talk to Justin at all before the accident? I did. When I finally found him in the refinery building, he seemed busy. He told me to leave his food in the break room. He's busy? But according to Dracogen, he should have never been in the refinery building in the first place. He said he was busy with. He said he had a meeting scheduled with Mr. Dracogen. Can't be true, though. Dracogen didn't mention this. Unless... We've gotten a few witness accounts already, but I want to double check. What'd you see during the accident? Sorry, I'm sure it was a disturbing sight. Need to take a minute? No, it's okay. It happened just after Justin told me to leave his food in the break room. It's my first time inside the refinery, so I spent some time looking at all the machines. That's when I suddenly heard a strange sound from the walkway. Wait, how did she hear the strange sound, though, if the machines were all running? So, maybe she saw the original murder. I tried to find someone to help him, but no one could hear me. Oh. Before I finally got to understand what happened, it was too late. Did the guardrail break when Justin fell off the walkway? More specifically, did it break from his weight? I'm honestly not sure. I was too busy trying to find help. Acting witness, yep. Blah, blah, blah. She did see before the accident. No idea why he was there. According to Rika, he said that he had a meeting scheduled with Dracogen, but this doesn't match what Dracogen told you. Either Dracogen or Justin are lying. But you met Dracogen already, but you still have no idea what kind of person Justin was. Maybe Rika can tell you more. Could you tell us more about the victim? What kind of person was he? He was a good person. He fell in with a bad crowd years ago, but he was starting to turn his life around. It's not how much he was trying to change, though I asked Mr. Dracogen to give him a job. He really wanted to help him change his life for the better. The job ended up killing him. You can't blame yourself for this. No one could have known this would happen. I guess you're right. It's hard not to think about, though. Is he the type of person to go places he wasn't supposed to be in? No, not anymore. Not anymore. He really wanted to make a good impression on Mr. Dracogen. He always talked about following the rules. He even got mad at me a few times when I accidentally broke the protocols. Right, that matches up what Dracogen said, but maybe he was falling back into his old habits. If Rika could tell you more about what he was like before he turned his life around. You mentioned that Justin fell in with a bad crowd before. I've also heard he used to hang out with a band of local delinquents. Tell us more about them. Oh. Fear. Rika, this information will help with our investigation. I need to speak to the others who knew him. You know where I could find his delinquent friends. I'm sorry, I really didn't know him that well. I should keep quiet. It might make him mad. Rika, are you hiding something from me? She talked to Justin. She talked to someone who's yeah, because we don't know all of the spells in the world yet. What? Of course not. What would the Dark Lord of Aranax possibly have to hide from you? Yeah, she's hiding something. You'll need to argue against her if you want the truth. Okay, so here's the argument. We don't want that yet. Oh, difficult to think about sometimes. You always hear about these things happening, but you never expect them to happen to people you know. But have no fear. It'll take more than this to bring down the High Archmagi. Let's reverse back to her Chuny personality. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Start the argument. Rika, you knew about Justin's friends, don't you? Well, so Rika, Tudor will perform questionable acts to protect the people she cares about. She has your best interest at heart and will always act in a way that is beneficial to your well-being. She isn't very good at deception. She'll often revert to her dramatic Chuny personality when trying to hide the truth from you. Just be honest with me. I'm not hiding anything. I really don't know that much about him. I wasn't that close to Justin Way. I may have delivered his food, but he was just a customer to me. Bullshit. I might have believed that you delivered his food because he was a good customer. That wasn't all you did for him. You saw he was trying to turn his life around, and you begged Dracogen to set him up with a job. You wouldn't do that for a customer you barely knew. Well, that still proves nothing. I am Mosakira Tudor, High Archmage of the Cagnium Flame. It is so hard to believe that I took pity on a stranger. I only helped him because I'm a generous person. It would be right for me to equip a commoner with the means to change his life. You're not a very good liar, Rika. You've risked a lot by asking Dracogen to hire a stranger, especially a stranger with a dubious past like Justin. What if Justin fell back on his old ways? That has surely brought about consequences on you and your business. You wouldn't take a risk like that unless you knew him well enough to trust him. Okay, and she is evocation. So we can't... She probably doesn't have the ability to transmogrify, or transmute. Okay, fine. I guess we were friends. But like I said before, he was trying to leave his old life behind. He always kept his past a secret from me. He didn't like talking about the person he was back then. He wanted to forget about it, and I never brought it up. It's sort of true. We knew each other for years before he told me about it. I doubt that, Rika. In fact, I'm sure you were friends for at least a few years. The friendship that old, I'm sure he would have confided in you about his past. I got like a bug bite or something. Itchy. Sorry. What? No, you need to stay focused. Wait, why was I looking at her like that? Why was I staring at Celeste? I'm a little confused. Rika, I don't know why you thought you had to lie about this, but I need to talk to Justin's former friends. Is that really necessary? Yes, I need to know why he was behaving so strangely before the accident. His friends might know something about him that you and Dracogen don't. That doesn't make any sense. There wasn't anything strange about the way he was acting. I think you're just overthinking this, Tyrion. You didn't want to overplay your hand before, but it looks like you don't have a choice. Rika, Justin told you he was heading to a scheduled meeting in Dracogen's office. But according to Dracogen, Justin wasn't even supposed to be at the refinery yesterday. What? Rika, Justin might have lied to you. No, he would never do that. I need to know why he was up there. So far, the statements I've gotten from you and Dracogen don't explain that. I need to talk to the people that might know things about him you don't. Okay. I'll tell you where you can find them. Just promise me you'll be safe, okay? Sorry, I wasn't trying to lie to you. It's alright, I'm assuming you had your reasons. I need to know where I can find Justin's old friends. You probably know already, but a few years ago, Justin got involved with a local street gang. They'd always hang around the beach area. But one day they discovered an abandoned house along the coastline, and they started spending most of their time there. Lone house on the coastline. It's that house, Tyrion. It's probably where you'll find Justin's old friends. So, that's why you were behaving so secretively. What? I'm sorry. Don't be. We're just trying to look out for me, right? Are you gonna be okay? I can go with you there if you like. No, it's okay. I bet it's his old house. Since it was abandoned after they killed his mother and he left. I'm sure you're busy with the cafe right now. And it's not as if I'll be going alone. Alright. Just don't push yourself too hard, okay? Yeah. Here we go. You arrive at the old abandoned... It's a really nice house. I was expecting like a cottage on the beach. I'm looking at the home you left behind, you're struck with a flood of memories. Memories were once happy, but now they only fill you with grief. Tyrion? You okay? Yeah. Let's look around. You wipe your eyes and begin looking around the house. Suddenly you hear the sound of glass breaking. You rush to look for the source and see two young teenagers throwing rocks at the side of the house. Shattered remains of the window are lying at the ground. Fucking look at this! Nice shot, Gavin! One of the teens, apparently named Gavin, notices you approaching. Get company, Wyatt. Huh? You stare blankly at the broken glass laying on the ground. You're at a loss for words. You feel like you should respond, but nothing comes out of your mouth. Suddenly find yourself quickly approaching the two teens. What the hell do you want? The hell? Before you even realize what you're doing, you threw a punch straight into Gavin's face. Your eyes are slowly tearing up. You can only see red. You grab Gavin by the collar and pull his face to yours. Get the hell away from my house! Tyrion? Oh, you want to go? You came looking for trouble. You sure found it. Okay, let's all just calm down and stay out of this, you little shit. That was a mistake. Excuse me? What, you got caught in your ears or something? Yes, actually. Why don't you go and repeat what you just said? I said stay out of this. You little shit. 5 minutes later. Celeste? Yeah? I'm sorry for losing my temper back there. I didn't mean to drag you into this. It's okay. My emotions get the better of us sometimes. Celeste? Yes? I think you might have overdone it a bit. Nah. Celeste? Yeah? I don't think he's breathing. Come on, just give him a second. You suddenly hear the very bruised and broken form of Gavin sputtering and wheezing on the ground. Looks like he's finally regained consciousness. See, he's perfectly fine. I love this. I love this girl. You're fine. Wyatt is staring wide-eyed at Celeste. From the shaking of his legs, he looks like he wants to run away, but he's too frozen by fear to move. Don't bother running. Even with a head start, I can easily catch up with you. Anyway, these two are probably Justin's former delinquent friends, right? Are you okay with talking to them? Yeah, of course. With your emotions in such disarray, you completely forgot why you came here in the first place. Did you two happen to know the young man who died at the refinery yesterday? These guys are after Justin? But he's already dead! Was there a grudge against him? Wyatt clearly thinks you were sent on someone's behalf. Wouldn't hurt to play the part to get more information out of him. We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna hurt you anymore. We'd just like to ask you a few questions about Justin. Yeah, sure, man. Whatever you want. Alright, you two talk. I'll work on popping Gavin's shoulder back into place. It's a little disturbing how nonchalantly she says things like that. Before that...
Arcanum.
Okay, just making sure. What can you tell me about Justin Way? According to a few witnesses we spoke to, you used to be friends. Friends is kind of pushing it. We used to hang back in the day, but we don't know more. It was weird when he suddenly started talking to us again. I thought he left for good. But he started talking to you again. Why? He just needed some of the old gear that he left at the house. Old gear? What kind of old gear? You know, his thieves' tools. All the tools you need for lockpicking and safe cracking. Tools for lockpicking and safe cracking? Why would Justin need those? What would Justin need lockpicking and safe cracking tools for? Well, he needed to get the gold he owed your boss. So he owed gold to somebody. Word has he was working for the merchant that owns the refinery. Guess the owner trusted him. Justin said he had a way to access the safe in the guy's office. Justin was always a whiz when it came to breaking and entering. Even had tools that could crack magical locks. Getting the gold out of the safe would have been an easy score for him. Wait, Justin was planning to rob Dracogen? Wyatt apparently thinks you were sent on behalf of someone. And from what he said so far, Justin owed a non-trivial amount of gold to this person. This person was some kind of criminal. Could they have been the one to sabotage the guardrail? Did Justin tell you who he owed his debt to? Nah, man. He didn't say nothing. He might whack me. He might whack me too if I tell him the truth. So he does know. No point in playing dumb. Just tell us what he told you. Did he give you a name? Answer the question. The Eye Taker. He'll go to the Eye Taker. Yo. Dude looks sick. The Eye Taker? Must be some kind of criminal nickname. Why does that sound so familiar, though? Either way, you need to figure out who this Eye Taker is. Might be best to ask someone else. Alright, before that, let's take a look around the place. Return to this house has brought back several memories you have complicated feelings about. These feelings are even more confounded by the blatant vandalism committed by Gavin and Wyatt. Honestly, you'd rather leave this place as soon as you could. View the seas just as you remember it. Probably the only thing that hasn't changed that since you left Arnax. Several weeds and plant life have grown since you were last here. Doesn't look like anyone's taken care of the yard for the last few years. Suppose it's more your fault than anyone else's. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Back at the house, what was that all about? Never seen you get that angry before. You said it was your house. Yeah, it was my house. It was? Ever since we arrived in the city, you haven't really been yourself. If you want to talk about it, I'm fine. And I don't want to talk about it. You're not fine. I can see it on your face. Please, just talk to me. It's none of your business. Came out a lot louder than you wanted it to. Celeste, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Without a word, she quickly walks ahead of you. Rika, do you know a criminal named the Eye Taker? The Eye Taker? Can't say I heard of him. Are you in conflict with this villain? Do they seek to steal the Eye of Horus from you? No, not exactly. At least you hope not. Either way, it looks like Rika doesn't know who he is. You should try asking someone else. Nope, didn't mean to hit that. Morrison, you know about the criminal named the Eye Taker? The Eye Taker? Where did you hear that name? So you do know about them. I do. Learned to keep my distance from them over the years. Eye Taker's the criminal kingpin of this region. Every large criminal undertaking in this region happens under his watch. Is that big of a deal? Of course he is. More importantly, how'd you hear about him? What I heard, Justin Way owed him a huge debt. Justin owed him? Knew he used to run around with a bunch of rogues, but I never imagined. That scaled lord. The Eye Taker might be involved in Justin's death. Think someone like him could hide behind this? Well, there's a saying we have about what happens when you get on his bad side. Let's just say he reminds you why he is that night. So you know who the Eye Taker is now. Definitely adds another angle to this case, but there's still some elements that don't make sense. Need some time to work through it all, but you should go talk to Dracogen first. You'll want to see everything he found. Hello, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you're doing well. We are, for the most part. We spent some time looking into the accident with people who knew Justin. I think there's more to this case than meets the eye. You spent some time explaining your findings to Dracogen. He seems troubled when you explain the traces of transmutation you found on the guardrail. He's even more taken aback when you mentioned Justin's supposed plan to rob him. This is quite a lot to take in. Is there any valuables in your safe right now? No, actually, but... What is it? After the accident, I did a careful inspection of the building. When I checked my office, I noticed the lock on the safe was disengaged. The safe is opened, but you said there wasn't anything missing. That's right. When I saw the safe open like that, I was already worried I'd been robbed. But I double-checked the contents. Everything was accounted for. Because of that, I assumed I forgot to lock it. That didn't make any sense. Maybe it was just a coincidence? No, he clearly... Yeah, exactly. Dead men pay no debts. And clearly... Justin backed out. But there's no way the Eye Taker could have known, gotten there, set up the trap, and then killed him all in the time it took for him to walk from the office to the railing. No way. I might believe that if it weren't for where my office is located. What do you mean? The walkway Justin fell from leads to my office. There's a window there that overlooks the refinery. That would explain why Justin was there in the first place. I don't want to suspect one of my employees, especially one that isn't allowed alive to defend himself from such accusations. So now the obvious question to ask, not Dracogen, but everyone else. Which way was he going? If the office is on the right, was he walking left to right or right to left? But it all fits together too perfectly, except for one thing. Why wasn't anything stolen? Regardless, I think you have a pretty good case. So does this mean you'll represent me? After what I discovered, I won't just stand by and let Vom Sanctus have his way. Well spoken. I'm glad to have you on my side, Mr. Cuthbert. Anyway, regardless of why, someone clearly magically tampered with the site of the accident. I doubt the court will find you at fault for what happened. Although, what's wrong? Civil cases are a lot less strict than criminal cases. If we present evidence suggesting foul play using magic, they'll treat this exactly like our other cases. Yeah, they might start the trial until they find out exactly what happened. For this accident, all we have to go on is witness accounts. Finding concrete evidence of what happened could very well be impossible. But the idea of hunting down the mage responsible sounds very tempting. Looks like you have your work cut out for you. I just hope things turn out okay there. If Von Sanctus on the other side of this, who knows what might happen. Best to keep your wits about you. I can't believe this. I have more important things to do than resolve your petty squabbles for you. Yes, yeah. Yep, confirmed. It is her. It is the Crown Prince. Let's see. Give me a second. Yes, the missing ship of your betrothed. Listen, the sooner you help me resolve this mess with Dracogen, the sooner you can go back to being the princess's lapdog. That is to say, once I'm not preoccupied with this case, House von Sanctus can provide the resources that you and the Inquisition need. I also don't have a choice, do I? At least this case should be relatively straightforward. Yeah, you wish. So we are actually going to cut it a little early tonight, because once again, it's just too perfect of a save spot. And tomorrow we will begin... No, shut up. Stop. Stop that. I said stop it. Tomorrow we will get back to that case. It's just too perfect, too fitting. And I'm not gonna lie. There's been way too many gravelly old men voices. My throat's killing me. So I'm gonna cut it a little early. One second. So thank you everybody who's here. Thank you for everybody who came. Whether you've been lurking the whole time, whether you talked, whatever. I'm a little wiped. What can you tell? So next week, nothing new's really coming out. So we will have a new game on Monday. I'm not sure what it'll be. It might be a one-off. It might be something a little more. It might be start a new series. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Hell, I might do Mega Monday. In any case, take care, Avalanche. I will be back on Monday. We will definitely finish this case up, and we'll continue our Nuzlocke and actually kick the shit out of Misty this time. If we can. Good lord, that last one ended badly. So, thank you, everybody, for spending your time with me. Time is something that you can never get back. So it means a lot that you spend it on me. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And as always, stay golden. Take care.